Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and today we are here playing Skyrim again, and I would like to do a little brief video which is basically a economical examination of how the economical system works in Skyrim, and particularly talking about the prices of items. Now of course I do realize that it's a fantasy world, but still I like to see history and realistic things and seek for these things and evaluate them, historical evaluations about the things that we do and that we find in these games. So as you can see, I'm in Whiterun now inside the blacksmith, and I am going to see that one of the first things, the most common things that players buy, so obviously weapons and armors. So we're going to check these and then compare them with the prices of other everyday items to see whether there is coherence in these prices. Now, talking to this gentleman here. Right, so let's begin with the weapons. Now, as you can see, I would like to show you, for example, now looking at oops, I have just actually purchased it. Well, that's not a problem. I actually wanted it for my collection, so that's not a problem because I do collect things here. Now, let's have a look. This is a steel sword. 136 gold for a steel sword. Please consider that you can also have iron swords, and steel swords are actually better quality. So this is already a medium quality weapon. For a low quality sword, well, he's not selling any now, but let's have a look, for example, at the difference between the price of a 200 sword made of steel and of iron. Now the difference is 120 gold, so almost not like maybe 40% more price. So 151 you can get a 200 iron sword, 271 you can get a 200 steel sword. So probably a normal sword, an iron sword, would cost around, well, let's consider 70 to 80, maybe 70 to 60 gold, all right, maybe 60 gold, something like that. And then for just a dagger, iron dagger, 30 gold, steel dagger, 54 gold, all right. And also if you prefer maces, this one is actually quite expensive, 196, but again it's steel. So having seen this, let's have a look at the armors. So there you go. A iron armor costs, consider that this is the whole armor except this is actually just the cuirass. Did I pronounce that right? Cuirass. And that's 377 gold. For the steel version, 829. Now, having seen this, a helmet, for example, 181. Yeah, that's pretty much the prices. Now, let's go to the tavern, and here we are. So let's enter. Okay, so let's see how much for food and drinks. So, food. Well, first of all, a beer costs 15 gold. So basically, now the point I'm trying to draw here is that I think that food and drinks cost too much compared to weapons and armors in this game. Now, of course, alright, so for example, cabbage costs 6 gold. What this means is that with 5 cabbages you can buy a dagger, and with probably 8 cabbages you could buy a steel dagger. Even, for example, now I'm not going to complain for the prices of meat, because meat was actually very expensive in the Middle Ages and only rich people could afford it. So it makes sense that meat has its price. But for example, if we look at let's see, example, a tomato costs 12 gold. What this means, again, 10 tomatoes and you got yourself a full iron helmet, or an actual good sword with 10 tomatoes. That's a bit strange. I mean, peasants would be incredibly rich in this country. And also, leek costs 3, like a little thing of leek costs 3 gold. What this means, again, that if we get, for example, with 100 leeks, you can buy yourself a iron armor with 100 leek. Bread, 6 gold. Same situation. 10 breads, 2 steel daggers. 20 breads, and you can have a steel sword, pretty much, well, almost no iron sword. Apples are the ones that really make me laugh. I mean, an apple is 9 gold. 9 gold for an apple. I mean, people will go around stealing apples so that they could actually, you know, if you steal apples from trees and then sell them back, you would, with, for example, just a couple of months, you would be able to buy yourself a full steel armor. Because, I mean, 9 gold per apple. That fruit and drinks, and particularly normal food, cost too much, I think. I'm not complaining too much for the sweets, because again, sugar was not very common in low classes, and mostly upper class could afford eating sugar. As a matter of fact, the teeth of people in the Middle Ages didn't have many cavities, actually, contrary to what many people think, particularly in the low classes, because they could not afford eating sugar. So still 6 gold, I think, is a bit too much, but yeah, it makes sense that it is quite expensive. So yeah, I'll forget that. That's not a problem. But the other things, you know, even potatoes, 3 gold for a potato, 6 gold if you cook it. It's like twice as much. Again, who would buy cooked potatoes? No one. Everyone would buy a potato and just cook it themselves, since it's twice as much, considering there is no other flavor added, I don't think. Wine, 21 gold. Well, this, I'm not going to complain about wine either, because this should depend on the quality of wine. But still, as far as I'm concerned, I think that the prices are a bit too high. That's just my opinion, and that's just a small thing that I wanted to share with you. Also because, I mean, if you look at prices, for example, of dragon scales, I know that that you can sell them for pretty good prices, but still probably, you know, a peasant, or maybe not a peasant, but anyone being able to selling apples could actually be able to afford a dragon armor eventually. If you do 1 year of selling apples within the economy of this game, you could actually buy yourself a dragon armor. So never mind killing dragons, just steal apples. Much better as far as money is concerned. Right then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. If you think that this reasoning makes sense, if you think that what I've said actually makes sense, please let me know in the comments below. Again, great game, one of my favorites. I'm still playing it. Today I was playing it. That's why this video came up, because I had a little bit of time and I decided to play a bit this game. And please let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and remember that Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.